My life took a turn I never saw coming, and honestly, looking back, it's a story that feels like it's straight out of a movie. It all started with my ex, Clara. We were together for 5 years, and I thought we were building a future. I was completely head over heels planning a proposal, the whole 9 yards. But Clara had other plans. She started acting distant, always on her phone, smiling at texts that weren't from me. The usual red flags we all hear about but never think will happen to us. One evening, she sat me down. I still remember the cold, detached look in her eyes as she told me it was over. Just like that. She said she'd met someone else. Someone more ambitious. Someone who could give her the life she deserved. His name was Mark, a slick guy with a fancy car and an even fancier job title. I was devastated. It felt like my world had crumbled. She packed her bags and walked out, leaving me with a shattered heart and a mountain of shared memories that now felt like a cruel joke. The first few months were brutal. I was a wreck. I barely ate, couldn't sleep, and just went through the motions at work. Every corner of my apartment reminded me of her. My friends tried to pull me out of it, dragging me to bars and game nights, but I was just a ghost, nodding along but not really there. I saw pictures of Clara and Mark on social media, living it up, traveling to exotic places. Each post was another twist of the knife. It was pure agony, watching the woman I loved build a life with someone else, a life she told me I wasn't good enough for. I knew I couldn't stay in that dark place forever. I had to do something, not for revenge but for myself. I decided to pour all that pain and frustration into something productive. I'd always had a passion for woodworking, a hobby I'd picked up from my grandfather. So I cleaned out my garage, bought some quality tools, and got to work. I started small, making custom picture frames and small furniture pieces for friends. The feeling of creating something beautiful and tangible with my own hands was incredibly therapeutic. It was the first time in months I felt a glimmer of my old self returning. My friends were amazed by the quality of my work and encouraged me to take it seriously. I was hesitant at first, but I thought, what do I have to lose? I started an online store, posting pictures of my creations. To my surprise, orders started trickling in. Then, a local design blogger featured one of my coffee tables, and things just exploded. My little hobby suddenly turned into a full-blown business. I was working day and night, but for the first time in a long time, I was genuinely happy. I was building something of my own, on my own terms. About a year into my new venture, I was at a local artisan market, showcasing my work. It was a beautiful sunny day, and the place was buzzing with people. That's when I saw her. Not Clara, but her younger sister, Emily. I hadn't seen Emily in years, not since she was in high school. She'd always been the quieter, more down-to-earth of the two sisters. She approached my booth, her eyes wide with admiration as she looked at a handcrafted bookshelf. She didn't recognize me at first. "This is absolutely stunning," she said, running her hand over the polished wood. "Did you make this yourself?" I smiled and said, "I did. It's my passion." She looked up at my face then, and a flicker of recognition crossed her features. "Wait, Alex, is that you?" We spent the next hour catching up. She told me she was a graphic designer and had always appreciated art and craftsmanship. There was an easy, genuine connection between us that had never been there with Clara. We exchanged numbers, promising to grab coffee soon. Our coffee date turned into dinner, and dinner turned into spending entire weekends together. Emily was everything Clara wasn't. She was supportive, kind, and genuinely interested in my life and my passion. She saw the value in what I was creating, not just the potential price tag. She loved my sawdust-covered workshop and would often just sit and watch me work for hours, completely fascinated. We fell for each other, hard and fast. It was a love that felt real, built on mutual respect and shared interests, not on materialistic desires. It wasn't long before Clara found out. Apparently, Emily had been raving about her amazing new boyfriend, the talented craftsman. Clara, probably expecting to meet another slick suit like Mark, was floored when Emily finally introduced us. The look on her face when she saw me, standing there holding Emily's hand, was priceless. It was a cocktail of shock, confusion, and something that looked a lot like jealousy. It turned out her life with Mr. Ambitious wasn't the fairy tale she had imagined. His ambition came with a huge ego and a wandering eye. Clara was furious. She called Emily, screaming about betrayal, accusing her of stealing her ex. She sent me angry texts, saying I was only with Emily to get back at her. But she couldn't have been more wrong. I wasn't with Emily for revenge. I was with her because I had fallen in love with her. The irony was just a bonus. Clara's attempt to upgrade her life had backfired spectacularly. She lost me, and now she was losing her sister's respect. The drama she tried to create only brought Emily and me closer. It solidified what we already knew. Our connection was real, and Clara's world was built on superficiality. Emily stood up to her sister, defending our relationship and telling Clara that her bitterness was her own problem to deal with. It was a powerful moment, seeing Emily choose her own happiness over her sister's toxic demands. It made me love her even more. Today, Emily and I are stronger than ever. My woodworking business has grown beyond my wildest dreams, and she's my biggest supporter, even helping with branding and web design. We're building a life together, a life filled with love, laughter, and the beautiful smell of fresh-cut wood. As for Clara, from what I hear, she and Mark are no longer together. She tried to come back into my life once, with a half-hearted apology, but that door is closed forever. I didn't seek revenge, but life has a funny way of serving it up anyway. I found happiness not by trying to get even, but by focusing on myself. And in the process, I found a love that was truer than anything I had ever known. She thought she had won when she left me, but in the end, I'm the one who truly has it all. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you've ever been through something similar, know that focusing on your own growth is the best path forward. Don't forget to like this video, and if you want to hear more stories like this, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. See you next time.